City and Guilds International Spoken ESOL Test Communicator Level, the 30th of September 2013. Répásné Pataki Éva test begins. Hello, my name is Victoria Altner. Can you spell your family name for me, please?
Yeah, sure. Repasne Patki.
Thank you. Where are you from?
I'm from Szigethalom, from Pest County.
Thank you. Now, in the first part of the test, I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself and your ideas, alright?
Alright.
First, medical services. What health facilities are there where you live?
Where I live, there's no facilities of hospital, for example. I have to go to Budapest, the main city of this county, because we haven't a good staff of this medical surgery, for example, or doctors or nurses. So if I have another problem which have a special doing which doctors do with me, for example, cut something from me, maybe I have to go to another hospital in the other side of Budapest, but it's not a problem.
I see. Thank you. Now, dieting.
Yes.
Do you think it's important to pay attention to how much we eat? And
yes,
why?
it's the most important for me, because I think the health care is the people how the people living is most important, and the diet is as more important if you want to looks good or better, or if you don't like to eat more than one time a day, for example, you eat 5 or 6, I think it's healthier for you.
I see. And now, extreme weather.
Yeah.
How do you think the weather will be different in the future?
Maybe the climate is different. Maybe the temperatures go up, and the sea level is more higher than now, for example. And if you see in summer the weather, you see every time the temperature is more higher than, for example, 10 or 20 years ago. So I think it's better now than the future.
I see. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Now, part 2. I'm going to read some situations. I want you to start or respond as necessary. First situation. I'm interviewing you for a job. I start. So, what do you think you can offer this company?
I think I'm the good people for you, because I have enough education for this job, for example, diploma or other languages, which I speak every day in my earlier workplace, for example, or I want to go to abroad, which your company maybe make me a chance or other place.
What about a cooperation with workmates?
I like cooperating and I like speaking very much. So if you want a good assistant, for example, I think I'm the best people if you want.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Now, a second situation. We are friends and I'm wearing an expensive new watch. You start.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
I see a new thing on your hand. It's new? Or
Yes,
an
it's
old?
brand new. You are the
Brand
first
new.
person to see it, actually.
Yes, it's very nice. I don't see it earlier. Where do you buy it?
Well, actually, I get it as a birthday present.
Birthday present. Oh, okay. And the color is beautiful.
Well, it's just wonderful. This neon green, it's amazing, isn't it?
How the color or the day you look it on the evening, for example, the days. Or
Yes, absolutely. It has a
Absolutely.
light in it, so
Okay, light
it's
in
just amazing.
Okay, great. Maybe I buy it.
Well, you should.
Yes.
All
Thank you.
right. A third situation. I'm a new student at your college. I start. What's the best way to get cheap course books?
Maybe I give you.
Oh,
a
that
new
would be
one.
brilliant.
That's the cheapest thing, I think. Or if you like the library, maybe you go there and it's on the second floor and you find a good book if you want.
But I'm a foreign student,
Yes.
so don't you think it will cause some problems if I want to take some books home?
No problem because you are a student in this university. Maybe you have no pay if you studying there.
Oh, I see. And where is it located?
In the other building, but on the second floor, which I said.
All right. Okay. Well, thanks a lot.
Okay. Welcome.
Thank you. And now, part 3. In this part of the test, we are going to discuss something together. I have some ideas and you have some different ones. All right?
All right.
So, we have been asked for suggestions on how to reduce traffic congestion in our city. Let's talk about our ideas and make some decisions. Take 20 seconds to think about what you want to say. Well, why don't you start?
Okay. I think maybe why don't we build more parks for car in city center? What do you think?
Well, it sounds a brilliant idea, but my only question is where? Is there enough space for it?
Not enough space. Yes, it's true. Maybe I suggest you another. Maybe build wider roads.
Wider roads. Well, that would be quite useful and helpful.
Because there's lots of trucks and lots of big cars. So maybe buses or which have more space.
Yeah, that's very true. And actually, it's in relation with one of my ideas
Yes.
that we should have some more cycle lanes.
Okay,
That
that's the
would be
third one.
quite useful, I believe.
Okay, I summarize first the parks and then the build wider roads, and you suggest more. Maybe I agree with you. And if it's not too expensive, maybe it's good for us.
Well, I think it's relatively a low budget project to have some cycle lanes. Cheaper than new car parks or parking facilities. What about increasing taxes? For example, taxes on cars or fuel.
Yes, but everything is more and more taxes and I think it's not better. But make me smaller cars cheaper to buy. Yes, that's maybe the other
Uh-huh.
suggestion.
And in what way do you think it would help?
Maybe if a smaller car, there's lots of space near the car, and for example, a bicycle lane in front of or near the car road.
Uh-huh. Well, that sounds quite an original idea. What about buses? Don't you think they should be a little cheaper? Or even free?
It's so expensive, I think, the buses. I think 5 years ago we buy it, but it's not too good for us because the buses it's not full of people. It's empty. For example, in the morning, and in the evening it's yes it helps us, but the buses it's not in the morning, not help us.
Uh-huh. Well, any other suggestions you have in mind?
Maybe the first suggestion, if you don't mind. I think the car parks maybe the best.
All right. Maybe these could be underground.
Underground. Yes, underground. Or channel under the water.
Uh-huh. Wow, that's a costly solution, but sounds really creative to me. Well, thank you.
Okay.
And now, moving on to part 4. In part 4, you're going to talk on your own for about 2 minutes. And your topic is The life and achievements of a person you admire. First, think about it for 30 seconds and make some notes if you want. So your topic is the life and achievements of a person you admire. All right? Eva, please start.
I admire Victor. He's my best friend. I think he's the best people if you want to make a good lunch. He's cooking very, very good. And the other hand, you see a good place where he lives. For example, he is an architect, and his own house is very nice. So if you see, for example, different rooms or the bath or the garden, you see how successful this man in his business life, for example. And third one, maybe if you want to help or want to go to help to somebody, you only call him and immediately he's come and he helps us. Maybe if the Victor busy, he has a good idea how we make the problem well. So the good talent and the good ideas is more thing which is help us more times than one. For example, last year we don't know how we built our gardens fences, so he helps me and make me suggestions and for example which how we made it or which is the good stone or wood is the best thing for fences. So I know these things now, not before. So and maybe if you want to give him a new problem which happened with you nowadays, he always have lots of time to speaking with him with coffee or tea.
I see. Thank you. Now let me have a question about this.
Yes.
What sort of things would you like to achieve?
The speaking with somebody, because I think the communicating with people is help everybody if somebody have problem.
All right. And is fame the same as success?
Yes, sometimes I think because if you are an open mind people, is it's more easier if you work as a communicating people.
Okay. Well, thank you. That is the end of the test. Répásné Pataki Éva, end of test.